Shabbat Shalom.
So what is your need for this Shabbat?
Return to source?
Yeah, I am 100% there. Yeah, I was thinking like I meant it for like Shabbos. Feeling Shabbos, like not drifted so much as just need to reconnect. You know?
Agreed.
Yeah. All right.
Wholeheartedly supportive.
Amen. All right. So that's where we're at. Good. Okay, should we start? Yeah. And then we'll go into welcome after that.
Sounds good.
I'll invite people to sing. Might have gone out. I invite you to join with us. The words are very simple. Well, welcome to Shabbat. I think it's very possible to run through the week and to not have a moment of stopping. It never ceases to amaze me that sometimes I will get to Friday night and realize that the last time I rested was last Shabbat, last Friday night. And so I invite us to take a moment to reconnect with a gift that was given to us thousands of years ago, the reminder and the invitation to be together and to rest, to enjoy, to sing, to be a little goofy. And so I want to invite us, those who are joining online, I want to just say a special Shabbat Shalom, a special welcome. If you're on Facebook or on YouTube, go ahead and go into the chat and just welcome one another. I invite us to say a Shabbat Shalom, a welcome to one another. And on tilb.org, you'll find a higher quality live stream as well. And I mention that for a couple of reasons. One is when we get to our healing prayer and our memorial prayer, our mourner's Kaddish, You'll be able to offer the names of those you're thinking of. We'll be able to say their names out loud. And while you are saying Shabbat Shalom to one another online, I want to invite us here in this space to say Shabbat Shalom to one another as well. And so I know that it can be a little bit new. But if there is someone, there has to be someone in this room that you have not met before. And so I invite us to actually, let's stand up and let's welcome one another. Find someone that you haven't met before, you haven't seen in a while. Say Shabbat Shalom as we welcome one another this Shabbat. Are you here for Haley's Bat Mitzvah? Right on. Where are you from? Where is Fox Hills? Up in LA? Yes. Very cool. Very cool. Welcome. I'm really glad to have this weekend together. We get to hang out actually throughout the weekend. What's going on, Jacob? High five, dude. Shabbat Shalom. You're starving. So maybe after services. I hear you. I'm a little hungry too. I know. Because I'm singing, I'm not wearing a mask right now. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello, Mazel Tov. Are you excited? A little nervous? Yeah.
Hi, is it your bat mitzvah? Mazel tov! Yay!
Yeah.
Your dress is very pretty. Hi, honey, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. We're a little wet.
Oh, it's fine.
It's awesome out there. It's great.
I know. I feel like I'm a little worried about a prayer for rain being too much, but
I know. You know, when we were driving here, there was an alert about flooding and high tide, and I guess Naples is kind of taking precautions. It's kind of a big deal. Okay. Well, knock it out of the park.
thank you.
So hard.
We're coming home. Yeah. Are you up for singing again? Oh.
So perhaps if we carry this light into the next portion of our service.
We have a real treat this particular Shabbat, and so because it is our second Shabbat, we wanted to expand our service a little bit. Throughout our service tonight, we'll have a couple of new things. Some of what Rabbi Cook reminds us can be new, some melodies that might be familiar from some time ago, perhaps new again in this space. And I do not want to go another minute without having the opportunity to say thank you to Bill Shafton for bringing his presence, his music, his voice to this space. And this evening, it is simply not the same without you as a part of the crafting and a part of the celebration of this moment. Thank you, Bill. We have this particular Shabbat a mouse living in our system. No. It's kind of a funny sound. We have a number of celebrations this particular Shabbat. I think that there is something beautiful to the power of light in that when you bring light together with other light, it is made even greater. On this Shabbat, we begin our holiday by reaching out and offering a little bit of light. And of course, celebrating not just the ability to see one another, the, I won't say the warmth, maybe the cool presence of one another this Shabbat, but also a milestone in a member of our community's life. And so as we begin this holiday together, as we begin Shabbat, I'd like to call up her family, her immediate family, to help us light our candles. I know that, just to clarify, come on up. Come on over.
Baruch
Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvotav L'tzion
Le'adlik ner shel Shabbat. As we open up to this new day of Shabbat, it is truly a beautiful day. So I invite us to turn to page 12 as we sing together, Ma Yafeh Hayom.
Ma Yafeh Hayom Shabbat Shalom Ma Yafeh Hayom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Ma Yafeh Hayom Shabbat Shalom Ma Yafeh Hayom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat 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 Shabbat Shalom.
we continue with the ever-growing tradition of Judaism and of Shabbat, a prayer offered to the service much later by the Kabbalists, and that likens the image of two people bringing their lives together in a wedding. And so, not at this moment, but when we get to the final verse of our prayer of Lecha Dodi, I'll invite us to turn to the door through which we entered our sanctuary and to welcome Shabbat as if she were a bride here to celebrate with us on her wedding day. For now, I'd like to invite us to turn to page 20 as we offer the words of Lecha Dodi.
And we'll do verse 1 in Hebrew, verse 2 in English. Actually, was it verse 5?
And then verse 5. Yeah.
Verse 5 in English, and then verse 9 in Hebrew. Lecha Dodi
Likrat kala, Tenei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Tenei Shabbat nekabela.
Lecha Dodi,
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Tenei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Shemor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Ishmiyanu el hamilchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem lo tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 2.
Let's go to 5, actually, in English.
Verse 5. Okay, let's go straight to 5.
Awake, awake, your light has come. Arise, shine, awake and sing. The Eternal's glory dawns upon you. The Eternal's glory dawns upon you. Lecha Dodi,
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise.
Boi v'shalom al teret bala, Gam b'simcha u'v'sola, Toch emunei am segula, Boi chala, boi chala. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
We continue now with the words of Chatzi Kaddish. Kaddish is something that is peculiar to me in that it's actually not written in Hebrew. Instead, the words are written in Aramaic, the vernacular of the community at the time, and placed throughout the service as a touch point, something that, like us, would speak to us in our own language because while the Hebrew might be familiar, while the words might have been sung or heard many times before, many of us don't have the Hebrew as our first language. And so instead, this prayer was offered throughout the service as a way to remind us. May these words be eternal. May they reach back through the centuries and forward as well, speaking to each and every one of us in the language that speaks directly to our hearts. And so this particular Shabbat, we're going to be offering the Chatzi Kaddish, a prayer that is also used when we are remembering someone, although we add a little bit to it. The hope is that in this moment, this prayer can be a reminder of the way that words can speak to us throughout centuries and generations, very much in the same way that the lives of those near to us speak to us through those same years to come. Page 26.
Yit Gadol v'Yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma Divra Hirutei Ve'yamlich Malchutei B'chayechon Uvyomechon Uchayei Dekol Beit Yisrael Be'agala 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 Uvizman Bagala Uvizman Kari V'imru Amen. May the name Adonai be exalted in a world of their creation, a part of God's great plan. May that name be known to us all. Let us say, Amen. Blessed is she for all eternity. May we all know Adonai. Blessed is thee for all eternity, so that we may know Shalom.
We continue on page 28 with the words of Baruch Hu. I'd like to invite us to please rise in body or in spirit. Adonai, Amevorah, Baruch Adonai, Amevorah, Le'olam Va'ed. Continue on the following page. Together, Baruch Ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv arabim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, ubitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmeroteim berakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi laila, uma'avdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzebaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam vayed, baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
This is an hour of change. We stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back or cross over? This is an hour of change. We stand up quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back or cross over?
Page 32.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Amcha ahavta Torah umitzvot Ukimu mishpatim Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu, Uv'komeinu masiyah bechukecha, V'nismach b'divei toratecha, U'mitzvotecha leolam va'ed. Chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahen egel yom v'layla yamam v'layla ve'ahavadcha tasir le'meinu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated. Now I'd like to call up Haley as she leads us in our V'ahavta prayer. Come on up. Sure. Get to the right page. Okay. Go ahead. Go and step up a little bit. You got it. Yeah.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם אני אדוני אלוהיהם אשר הוצאתי אתם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיהם
Adonai Elohechem emet. We continue with the words of Micha Mocha on page 40. Let's sing together. Adonai, mi kamocha, neder bakodesh. Nora tehilot, o seifelen, nora tehilot, o seifelen. Malchutecha, rauvanecha, okei ayam, lifnei Moshe Miriam. זה אלי אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם Well, we have a tradition at Temple Israel. And I'm pretty sure it dates back from the year 3 CE, but we can debate over that. And this tradition is that anytime we have the word et in the song, in the prayer Vishamru, that we do a little bit of lifting up our hands. Jacob, can you help me with this? Et. Oh, ready. Okay. So anybody who wants to just lift their arms, their hands, awesome. And anybody who feels like lifting their whole body, that's great too. This song is all about Freilich, about the celebration of Shabbat. Let's do a little bit of celebrating together. Page 44, Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat ledorotam berit olam Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat ledorotam berit olam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam Oti leolam, oti HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני
את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש את
השמיים ואת הארץ. It's all of the above, truly. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. One more time.
ביום השביעי
Oh, yeah. שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by, the exodus that lasted a moment enduring forever, and so what happened once upon a time happens all of the time. We continue on page 46 with our words of tefillah. I invite us to please rise in body or in spirit.
שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Open my lips, that my mouth may declare your
שפתי
glory.
תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך.
Open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory.
שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Continue silently using the words on the pages to follow. We'll join together again on page 62.
justice burns like a flaming fire, when love evokes a willing sacrifice to the last full measure of selfless devotion, with righteousness and truth we believe. And your goodness enters our hearts, and we begin to change the world, and you live in our hearts, and we behold your presence with righteousness and truth, righteousness and truth, righteousness and truth, we believe.
Our thoughts now turn to those in our community who are in need of healing. We know that there is strength in calling to one another and being in community. And so, of course, we pray for a bodily recovery, but we also pray for strength. Strength to offer support to those who are providing health care for those in need. Strength to offer love to those who are going through a difficult time. So if you're joining us online, I'd like to invite you to share the names of those that you are thinking of this particular Shabbat in the chat at this time. And for those of us who are here in our sanctuary, I'd like to invite you to take a moment and look through our pamphlet. We are deliberate in placing the names of those who are in need of healing in our service booklet so that we can take this home. If there's someone that you see and hear that you know, I invite you to reach out to them. We do believe that that is another form that healing takes, directly being there with one another. And this particular Shabbat, I'd like to draw our attention to those in our community who have come more recently onto our list. So together we think of Linda Fox and Ann Martin, Ronnie Shevik, Leanne Ashatel, Amy Cohen, Bonnie Leopold, Lucy Levins, Janice Lapellis, Harper Joan Seeley, and Amy Weitzman. Additionally, this Shabbat we hold in our hearts Pat Rolls, if you are here in our sanctuary and thinking of someone in particular this Shabbat, I'd like to invite you to share their name with the community as my eyes meet yours. be joined together on page 253 of our prayer list.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, bless those in need of healing with refuah shema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
We continue on page 282 with the words of Aleinu. I'd like to invite us to please rise in body or in spirit.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'aseh gedula l'yotzer reshit, shelo asanu kigoyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam elkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. Anachnu korim u'mishtakavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz vayom Vayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. Our thoughts now turn to those in our community who have died in recent days or in this season in years past. And so if you are joining us online, I'd like to invite you to share the names of those that you are thinking of this Shabbat in the chat at this time. Together, our hearts go out to those in our community who have suffered a recent loss and so are in the period of Shloshim, the 30 days after the death of someone near to them. And so, as we remember Kenneth Rosenfeld, our hearts go out to Dan Rosenfeld and Karen Rosenfeld, as well as Molly and Samantha. And as we remember Harry Zubel, our hearts go out to Carrie Zubel, Jonathan Weiner, Max and Sadie. And as we remember Shirley Sapel, our hearts go out to Joel Sapel, Mona Gable, Jesse, and Kate. And as we remember Diane Stotlin Repkin, our hearts go out to Heather Raphael. As we remember Micah Beisel, our hearts go out to Rabbi Lee Beisel and Judy Beisel. As we remember Renee Solomon, our hearts go out to Ava Weiss, Howard Weiss, Aaron and David, Danielle, Ryan, and Evan. This Shabbat, we additionally mark the yard site, the anniversary of the death of Herman Albert, Barbara Bernstein, Joseph Bort, Sandy Cohen, Edmund Edelman, Rosalind Feldman, Irving Gelden, Lori Glickman, Jacob Green, Rose Kaufman, Sidney Levy, Alvin Levy, Alan Love, Susan Morton, Everett Phillips, Rose Rosen, Salim Sassoon, Harry Schaefer, Daniel Shafton, and Florence Ware. If you are here and are thinking of someone in particular this Shabbat, I invite you to share their name aloud so that we can all hold that person and you in our hearts as we offer this prayer.
Joyce Sewell, Mike Lang, Lillian Hung. Linda Rickson.
Dear friend Fran Concher.
Almeida Brooks and Mike Basis. Nene Sugarman. Jack Burton. Noah Guzman.
Kate Fierro. I'd like to invite us to join together as one with the words of Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. I'd like to invite us to please rise in body or in spirit. Itgadal v'itgadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad yivarach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam u'me'el maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha b'richu, le'ela minchol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, damiram b'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim alenu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. V'sei shalom b'mramav. Hu ya'aseh shalom, alenu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tebel, v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories continue to be a source of blessing and inspiration. I invite us together to say, amen. Please be seated. I now would like to call up a member of our board of directors, Ron Artstein, to share some of the goings-on at Temple Israel in just this coming week. Things are starting to kick up again after a quiet summer. All right.
I'll take this off, right?
Yeah, please. Thank you, Ron.
Shabbat Shalom. Can we
Shabbat Shalom.
I guess the people need this for.
Yeah, for those online.
Yeah, they're online. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome. Ooh, this is too loud. So first, we need to thank Joshua and Stacy Flum for sponsoring the oneg in honor of their daughter's bat mitzvah. So I guess this means there is an oneg after services. I would assume so. So please, after services, please go out and it's usually on the patio. Maybe we're going to be there in the rain. Who knows? But yeah, look for the oneg and please hang around, say hello to everybody. Tomorrow, Saturday morning, we have a Torah study with Rabbi Fox at 8:45, and followed by a service at 10:30, which will be the bat mitzvah of Haley Flum. So please, I know many of you are here for the bat mitzvah anyway, but those who aren't, please think of coming, because a bat mitzvah is a community celebration, not only a family celebration. It is a family celebration, but also everybody is invited, people online as well. And our Joys of Jewish Learning program has a lot of offerings this week. So as you listen, try to think if there's something that's interesting to you. For example, Monday morning at 9:45, there's a class New Testament study from a Jewish perspective. On Wednesday at 7 p.m., we have Women's Book Club meeting discussing the book The Convert by Stefan Hertmans. I'm sure I'm butchering all the names, but oh well. Our Tanakh study group also meets they meet at Thursday at 10:15 a.m. If you're interested in the Tanakh study group, please contact Martine Korak. And other programs include the Men's Minyan discussion group, which meets every Tuesday at 9:30. Contact Alan Lillian if you're interested. And on Saturday, September 17th, so that'll be not tomorrow, but a week after, we have the Slichot services starting at 7:30 p.m., if I remember correctly. Actually, I don't need to remember because it's in the other sheet. We're going to have an art project by by Amy Rosenberg at 7:30, followed by service at 9 o'clock. That's not tomorrow, that's a week from tomorrow. Oops, sorry. Other news that's not on this sheet, but I think needs to be mentioned anyway, is that Torah Center starts this week, this weekend. So 7th graders on Saturday, everybody else on Sunday morning. If you have children at Torah Center, bring them. If they're not registered yet, bring them anyway. Yeah, I'm still struggling with my kids. I had something else. It's not written here, but never mind. Okay, if you ever have a question about how to attend one of our classes or programs, look for our emails, call the temple staff, or look for people here who have these tags on. We're always happy to help you. And Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. Well, we have one more prayer to offer for this evening, and we thought we'd go with, can I call it a classic, an oldie but a goodie?
You're the rabbi, you can call it anything you want.
But I have to back it up with, it actually says in the Talmud that it's an oldie but a goodie. Doesn't say that anywhere in the Talmud. Actually, it might.
It's in the
a big book.
spaces.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. The space between the letters. Yeah. Well, the name of this next prayer is Osei Shalom. We're wondering if you would sing along with us, bringing light, bringing peace into this moment of Shabbat. Osei Shalom bimroma, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru. If you're comfortable, I invite you to place your arms on the shoulders of the person next to you. Let's sing together. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, v'imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Osei shalom bimroma, hu
Ma'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, everyone. So just a moment, we're gonna kick off our the rest of our evening together with a little bit of kiddush, a little bit of sweetness, and so I'd like to call up Haley and her immediate family. Again, come on up, and let's offer the blessing over this sweetness. Go ahead. Okay, you ready?
Are we only doing the short version?
Just the short. Oh. Well, actually, we're gonna do the long version, not the first paragraph. We'll sing together. Let's sing together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon inchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom techila lemika'ei kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat. L'chaim, go for it.
Wait, I'm supposed to drink it?
Yes.
You're supposed to. Part of your bat mitzvah responsibilities. How's it taste?
What that?
It was wine. Welcome to adulthood. Right. Okay, well, let's continue with a blessing for our challah together. Haley, can you grab the bottom here? Yeah. I'm going to take the top here.
You got it. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. You got it.
Let's offer our blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'tei avon. B'tei avon, Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom. Mazel tov.
Am I supposed to keep holding this?
You get the whole thing.
And if I don't
I'm just
want it?
kidding. You can share with everyone. Yeah, share it with your cousins.
All right. Call a free for all. Okay, so
Hang on.
So I took lessons with him when he lived in Studio City.
Oh, wow, very cool. Thank you. Congratulations. I never.